Testing. Can you hear me now? Okay. I had a bit of a mic problem there for a moment. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you can hear me now. So, good evening, morning, afternoon. Good whatever time of day it is for you. Master Luke, it's good to see you. We're all thinking fourth dimensionally. Yes. Time. Kind of skipping ahead to... Oh yeah. Fourth dimension with time, different time zones, but also skipping ahead to chapter 30 when I haven't quite got 28 finished yet. But that's not unusual for me to skip ahead and work on future scenes on stream. So one of the things I'm going to be doing today is to work on a scene of Millennium Falcon leaving planet Myrkr. So I'm just looking at my planet's texture collection to find the planet Myrkr, because I didn't name them. Not sure this time of 7 minutes past midnight. Yes, it's 7 minutes past midnight here too. I screamed when I saw the notice on your channel. Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Alright. I was a little bit late to get started, and I had a few minutes of a mic problem at the beginning, so I think we'll get started straight into it. Now, I need... We're going to have the planet first. So I'm just looking through my prop collection, because basically I'm starting a space scene from scratch. Both in the UK, I'm not working, hence why I'm up at this hour. Well, I'm glad you're up at this hour to watch the stream. What is it that you do? I've got some new headphones, and it's making my voice echo in a way I'm not quite used to yet. Not echo, but it's kind of like a reverb kind of effect, because of the way it's covering my ears. Work for a garage. Work for in a garage. Oh, okay. I can't claim that's a profession I know too much about. Alright, I found the Myrkr picture, which is good. That's really helpful. So I created this basic prop. It's called an effect square. It's a square, and I use it to place effects. It's boring. Well, I'm glad that the streams are entertaining for you. That's not right. Gwendler, hello, welcome. I don't see anyone for 9 on 8 hours. Well, I'm glad you're here. This stream is entertaining you. Tell Freya that I hope she feels better soon. Freya is of course the voice of Winter in several chapters of Heir to the Empire. Now, the problem I've got is telling the difference between Kashyyyk and Myrkr, because they're both forest planets. I think that's what we want, is this one. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with. We say one has 4 stopping animals, the other does not. Yeah, but you can't really tell that from orbit. They're both green planets, and I didn't name them. The files are just named after the date on the software. One is instant death when you're on the ground, the other is not. I don't know. Myrkr's quite dangerous as well, with all the Vaunskers. Alright, so we've got the planet in place. Next up, space. Actually, you know what I should be doing first is set the one of the first things I should have done was set the resolutions so I could get the right camera angle. There we go. See, I don't think they turned Thrawn into a tactical imbecile. His goal was never to kill any of the main characters. His goal was to escape and keep everyone busy, so they didn't stop him. And he completed his goal. And escaped. Right, so we've got the stars in the background. Now we need what would be the point of anything he did when all he had to do was leave? But he couldn't leave yet. The ship wasn't ready and the cargo was still being loaded. And you probably don't want to underestimate Jedi. So his goal was to keep them busy while he prepared to leave, and then all those doors, maybe if he'd closed them all. Yeah, but then Jedi could just cut through them with lightsabers. With all those troops behind them. Well, he didn't want to sacrifice a lot of troops. He sacrificed the ones he had to. And if you think about it, even with all of that, they still got very close to the ship. So all the other stuff he did to keep them away from the ship worked, because if they'd been able to get to him without any of that, they would have stopped him. Looking for that. I got a number of different X-Wing models, and I needed the right one. So let's just close the. Actually, let's place the camera here, because that's the angle I want. And then go back to preview. So let's have a look at the X-Wing. We need to close the S-foils. Get rid of those engine glows because the ship's not actually using them. And okay. Let's get the Falcon lined up. Now in the book it says Luke's X-Wing is being towed by a cable. Hold on a minute. Something wrong with one of the S-foils here. That's what we see. There we go. You can see through a gap in between them. We don't need R2 in the X-Wing. So we can delete him. And probably want it to be a little bit further away so it doesn't get scorched by the engine exhaust from the Falcon. Alright, next up we need the rope, or the towing cable. I'm sure that it's not actual rope. They're going to keep it simple. Space physics don't usually apply to Star Wars, but or physics in general, but the rope's still going to be stretched out like this, so let's say it's attached to there. Yeah, looks pretty good. Now we need to get the X-Wing attached. I'm not going to do actual attachment props because it's going to be flying so quickly and not close enough to really see anything more than this. So I know it's kind of lazy, but what's the point of going to the trouble of adding things that you can't see that make no difference to the actual outcome? Right, so what should happen now is there we go. The X-Wing is being towed by the Falcon, so anywhere I spin it round, it's going to be like that. I don't have to worry about the physics of the rope because, or the cable, because they're going to fly in a straight line. Which is quite handy for me because it makes this so much easier. So we'll start the Falcon there. Let's go to 8 seconds. Gives it a nice bit of breathing room to play with. We want it to go to about there, I think. Let's check. That's a bit slow, but that's alright. Let's look at it from the camera. Yeah, that is too slow. So we're going to do two things here. First, we're going to move the planet back. Then we're going to reshape the planet a little bit because it's not meant. The texture for the planet isn't really meant to be a square. Yeah, that should do. Then we're going to move the ship back to about there. Let's see how that looks. Still a bit slow. So let's turn it that way. It's kind of going too slow and a bit in the wrong direction. So let's try 5 seconds. It would help if I did that at the end of the 5 seconds and not the beginning, so right. That's more like it. I'm going to make the planet a bit bigger. And then going to rotate the camera around. Let's see if I can guess the position it needs to be in. Actually, the easier way to get the camera to follow the ship is this other little trick I've got. Put a little cube, or a big cube in that case. Don't worry, Star Wars is not being invaded by the Borg. You won't see this in the final render. So we'll place that about there and set the camera. Where's the option for it? Oh, look at, pick target, pick the cube. And then attach the cube to the ship, so it follows the movement of the ship, sort of. Crazy, hello, welcome. Too far, too far. Ken Wood, hello and welcome. Wait, Star Trek 4 Cube. Yeah, it's just the unexpected plot twist is fair to the Empire that I'm completely diverting away from the book at this point, is to have a Star Trek crossover. No, not really. What it is the camera is pointing at the cube. I choose a cube because it's a simple shape. But what you're really going to see, because I've made it invisible, is that. And it really is that simple. Subverting expectations. Exactly. No, I wouldn't really do that. Though I have been playing a bit of Star Trek Infinite recently. I do like Star Trek as much as I like Star Wars, so yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. The thing about good shot is you can just watch it over and over again. Which I tend to do and then don't get any work done. Okay, so let me check the script really quickly. Too far. Okay, yep. Need to add a second shot of the Falcon going to hyperspace. So, some welcome. Glad you're here. Lots of new faces tonight. It's always nice to see. So let's I'm going to make the cube visible again because I need to be able to see where I'm positioning the camera. Oops. That's better. We have to be careful here because the planet's. Oops. Let's go with that. And then let's see how that looks. Right. Right, so we're going to change. So it's not attached, it's linked. Now there's a difference to this. It should still follow but what I want to happen is if I press unlink here, the cube stops and it doesn't jump forward with the Falcon. Can't do that if it's attached, but if it's linked, I don't know all the technical differences. Well, I kind of do a little bit, but I don't want to go into it on stream. But basically, it means that when the Falcon jumps to hyperspace, you don't get this sudden camera jerk as it flies off. There we go. Now, I'm going to save that. Let's get rid of those two. Save it again. Now what I'm going to do is export this to Omniverse. This might take a moment and you can't see the progress, but it is happening. I forget that space scenes tend to be much quicker, that process, than character-based scenes, which is what I've been working on quite a bit of. Okay, so we need Omniverse to come up. So this, bear with me a moment. I'm loading it up. And so if you look at this, this is the basic render quick mode option. So the graphical detail isn't as great as it might be in once it's actually rendered, because I keep it in quick mode now because a lot of the scenes are very complex. And quick mode makes it much easier to work with because it's less demanding on my system, which, yeah, I like to think I've got a decent system, but some of what I'm doing here is just really hard on it, even with what I've got here. So and this space scene is pretty simple compared to having lots of characters walking around. It's loading up. Alright, let me switch over to this is the fun part again. No, we don't need that. Bear with me just a moment. I forget how much fun it can be to do this. That'll have to do. Okay. Okay, as you can see, it's completely pitch black. I was still loading the textures in. So we'll give it a moment to do that. There we go. So I've turned the lights off, but also the sphere with the stars on it blocks out all the light coming from external light sources, which I've just turned off. So we're going to create a light source. And there we go, we can see. Let's have a quick play through the scene. Not bad. We're going to do several things here. These start with the stars. They're a little bit too bright. There we go. That's better. And we need to stop. You can see the parts of the sphere reflecting light, which is why you have the part of the sphere visible there. So just turn that off, turn the turn the reflection off. There we go. Alright, next thing I want to do is make the engine glow brighter. So first to make it actually brighter, and then we're going to turn the bloom option on, adjust it. That's better. Finally, we're going to create another light, and it's going to be from below. Gee, let me turn denoising off. Denoising is a useful feature to stop it getting very grainy, but a scene like this, you don't really need it. The lower light, just to make it visible, but it needs to be darker. We want the top light to be brighter. And I think we've done that. I feel like the background stars is a little bit too bright again. It's because of the bloom effect, so it's just that. Because I don't want them to be too distracting. Obviously they need to be visible, but when they get too bright, they're too distracting from what we're actually seeing, which in this case is the Falcon. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is put a texture on the cable. Fortunately, Omniverse has options for that. Go with that one. No, I think it needs to be darker. Yeah. And that's it. One space scene. It's not going to be the smoothest playback with this OBS running, but I think that works quite nicely. Just think. Yeah, I think the X-Wing engines are glow still visible. Let's have a look. That should solve that. Luke's not in the X-Wing in this scene, so the engines won't be on, so they shouldn't look like it. There we go though. I think that's done. So I'm going to save, and next thing to do will be to render it, which I'm not going to do on the stream because it's not the most exciting thing to watch. And yeah, that's one space scene done in 45 minutes. Probably would have been a bit quicker, but when I'm not on the stream, but I like to talk to you guys, explain what I'm doing. But I'm really pleased how this turned out. Also excited about where this is going and where they're going and what it leads to. I have actually started working on some of that, and it's coming out quite nicely already. Ken, thank you so much. I think I'm going to end the stream there because I've pretty much finished what I set out to do. A little bit earlier than usual, but that happens sometimes. So thank you all for coming. May the Thrawn be with you, and I will see you all next time.